Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. It is Thursday, the 6th of November. And in 2 days, on Saturday, semi-late kickoff, let's just put it that way, Sunderland are playing against Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal are back into Premier League action. And with big questions, can they keep this streak going? Clean sheets, almost no shots on target, and all this stuff. Let's be real. Before let's just say October international break, or more during October international break, as we are talking about these games that were happening between October's and November's international break, that's gonna be pretty much is already upon us. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We talked about Atletico Madrid and Brighton, and at the time, nobody looked at Sunderland that heavily. But right now, Sunderland are sitting fourth in the table. At home, they're very strong, more specifically. And they have ex-Arsenal player Granit Xhaka, so it's a Granit Xhaka derby, if you want to put it that way. But ultimately, there is going to be a very tough game on our hands. And it's going to be very interesting to see how Arsenal operate during this game, how it happens, what the 11 is going to be. And we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about the preview, obviously, about other bits and bobs here or there. But I would assume that most of the talk will be about Sunderland versus Arsenal, because it's a big one. It's a big one. There's a possibility that we go into a November international break, basically, being 7 points clear at the table if we do our business, because it doesn't matter. 6 points clear. Sorry, it doesn't matter that if City wins, as long as Arsenal win, and if Arsenal win, we stay 6 points clear in this November break, and that would be quite a nice cushion to have, to say the least. That would be a very nice cushion to have in the first place. So definitely, that will be an interesting talk. What's going to happen? How it's going to happen? Because Arsenal are playing Sunderland, right? And at the same time, this weekend, there is also a very big game going on, as arguably Super Sunday to some extent. It is Liverpool versus, of course, versus Man City. And that is going to affect the game straight up forward. It's going to dictate how this season could go, because City currently are sitting second in the league, only 6 points behind us. And Liverpool are sitting third in the league, 7 points behind us. Ironically enough, Sunderland is as well 7 points behind us, just like Bournemouth. But Liverpool are playing Man City. The game is at Anfield, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Well, wait, let me check. Is the game at Anfield or is it not? Yes, the game is at Etihad. And that game could determine who is going to be the second place, unless they play a draw, obviously. It's going to dictate who is going to be in the second place in the league. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how that game develops. Because I'm not going to lie, many people expect Arsenal to win this game, including myself. I'm not going to lie, including myself, I expect Arsenal to win the game against Sunderland on Saturday. But that Liverpool-Man City game definitely is going to be very interesting, because Liverpool are struggling at the moment. They just beat Real Madrid, so it might spur them on. But if we look at Man City, they are kicking into gear. They're looking better by the game. Foden is picking up form. Haaland, of course, is just, an alien. Let's be real. There is no stopping him. And it's going to be very, very, very interesting to see how this develops and how this goes, because nothing has been decided as of yet. Definitely nothing has been decided as of yet, if we are looking at it that way, because people say it's Arsenal's league to lose, and that is just a nut statement to make right now. It's more of the fact that it's Arsenal's league to win based on the recent results, but they don't dictate the whole season. We are only 10 games in. It's only 10. We have still 28 games to go, and anything can happen. Anything can happen. So it's going to be an interesting one in terms of how this is gonna go, but we could definitely secure a semi-decent lead before the November international break, and we need that. We need that because after November international break, we have a quite tough schedule coming up. We play Spurs at home, which should be a win. Bayern Munich at home in Champions League, which will be very interesting to see how that goes. Then we have Chelsea away, and Chelsea away, it's been rough for us in the last few years, because we have drawn there twice the last 2 times we have visited. Then we have Brentford at home, and of course then we have Aston Villa away, which also will tell a lot. Obviously, that Aston Villa game, it's a very hit and miss. It can be a banana peel, if we are putting it that way. At the same time, it should be a win, because Aston Villa are struggling this season. That goes without saying. then again, wouldn't put them past them to be on it on that one game, because teams are like that. Teams are like that because those unpredictable teams are the most scary ones, because you never know what kind of team is going to show up. It's similar like when you play Brighton, when you play Bournemouth, teams like that, because you never know which of the teams is going to step up. Either it's going to be bowling out Bournemouth or Brighton or Crystal Palace, or it's going to be stink out the place team. And that is one of the biggest worries. And so we'll have to wait and see. But going back to Sunderland, they have started the season exceptionally well. They had a fantastic summer window. They signed what feels like 1 billion players. But the thing is, though, they have signed the necessary players. And that is a big, big key. Obviously, the manager is also doing a very great job in terms of Sunderland. And it's going to be interesting to see how he tries to counter Arsenal, because at the moment it seems kind of effortless. It seems kind of, why are you even trying, to some extent? Because we just smother opponents defensively. And in the attack, we tend to hold possession and create our chances, and we get the job done. So let's see if we're going to see more of that, because I'm not going to lie, I don't expect Arsenal to be this dominant in terms of clean sheets, no shots, and all this stuff throughout the whole season. At some point, it's going to happen. At some point, we're going to concede. At some point, something's going to go wrong, because that is the season. That's how seasons usually go, because you almost never see seasons being just upwards. You have your dips, you have your issues, and it will be interesting to see how Arsenal are going to respond to that, how they're going to cope with that. And until that happens, we need to utilize this form, this situation, this style we are in right now to basically build as big of a gap as possible. And obviously, playing against Sunderland, you would expect us to do that. Without shadow of a doubt, against Sunderland, it should be a winnable game, which should be a win, let's be real. But you never know. You never know. And in Premier League and many other leagues, let's be real, football is one of those games that humbles you quickly. You can be top of the table, you can be top of the mountain all the time, but it takes one situation, one injury, one result to basically make it all come tumbling down. We saw that for Liverpool. They were pretty much unbeaten before October international break. They were winning games. Obviously, we talked about this as well at the time. We said that it was not sustainable. They were winning games in the 80-plus minutes, pretty much every single one. Obviously, they beat Arsenal as well with a brilliant free kick. And at some point, the penny had to drop, and they will have that hole. They will have that downfall. And at the moment, Arsenal are flying high. Arsenal are flying high with no, at least for now, in those terms, with no signs of slowing down. We are dominating games. We are scoring goals. Set pieces massively, quite big amount, but set pieces and from open play as well. We tend to score now in the last few games. Definitely, it has come more evident. And defense is just effortless. Like you cannot do anything. If you get a shot, it's a miracle to some extent. If you get a shot on target, it's like one of the 7 world wonders to some extent. So Arsenal are very resilient in that regard. But against Sunderland, I expect it to not be as easy as people maybe think. Sunderland are actually one of those teams I expect to do good this season. They were my favorites to stay up from all the promoted sides. Based on their signings they made last summer as well, I expect them to be mid-table. And so far, obviously, only 10 games in, but they are surpassing all my expectations for them this season. But at the end of the season, I expect them to be there. I expect them to be somewhere mid-table, because they are too good of a team currently not to be somewhere there. Too good of a team. They are beating teams they should, well, technically speaking, should not have business beating. And they're doing their job when it needs to be done. Hence why they are sitting in the 4th place of the table at the moment. And that is massive for them. But yeah, people, as we are getting into things, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, all that good stuff, and leave your thoughts about the Arsenal versus Sunderland game in the comments as well, in the live chat. Bigger Fusion is not jazz. Good morning. Hello from the other side. How you doing today? I hope nobody will hurt Xhaka tomorrow. We'll see. We also should be worrying that Xhaka doesn't hurt us, because Xhaka boom can happen from like 30 yards out, one left footer, full power, Raya doesn't make the save, and it could be Peakham's as well. It could go both ways. Granted, Xhaka could hurt us, and we could hurt Sunderland, and maybe, I don't think we're going to hurt Xhaka on purpose, but anything can happen. So it's going to be an interesting one. I expect a very tough game. I'm not gonna lie. This will be one of those games. I don't expect anything massive. I expect a tough game that we will have to grind out. Now, defense, obviously, for me personally, is one of the least of my worries. My worry is the midfield and the attack, no matter how you look at it. Especially with Gyökeres being out, him not playing, him being injured, and everything. It definitely raises some big questions. So it's gonna be interesting to see what we're gonna do in the attack. Will it be Merino once again? Will we put Mikel Merino up top once again? And if we do, how that's gonna pan out? Because against Slavia Prague it worked, and other things out as well. But will we play Merino? Will it be, I don't know, Trossard? For some weird reason, maybe Anush? Who knows? That one is now the next question. What we gonna do there? How serious is Gyökeres' injury? Should we be worried? That's the thing. I have no idea. Literally zero idea, because there hasn't been any information shared too much, right, at the moment. The thing is, though, there is speculation going around that Viktor Gyökeres, after basically is gonna be back after international break, and Arteta with Arsenal together, they're expecting to be ready, most likely for even Spurs game. So basically, in 18 days, they expect him to be with the squad and ready. Plus, on top of that, they also expect that straight after, pretty much after November break, Odegaard is going to be back, Havertz, Madueke, all of them are going to be back. So it will be very interesting to see. It doesn't look like at the moment, at least, because we haven't had any news regarding Gyökeres, that it's going to be a long-term injury for now. Obviously, tomorrow, Arteta is going to conduct the pre-Sunderland game match press conference, which we're going to review tomorrow evening on the stream, right? But I think maybe then Arteta will shed some light in terms of Gyökeres, when he's expecting him to be back and what role he's going to play, how serious is the injury. But so far, from all the speculation I have read, at least from some journalists, it doesn't look that serious. And Arsenal are expecting him to be back straight after international break. So it's not that bad. It definitely is not that bad. Then again, who knows? Genuinely. But yeah, there are some images from the training, and you're never gonna guess who is back in the training with the squad. Who is back with the training with the squad? It is Gabriel Jesus. Yes, people, Gabriel Jesus is back in the training with the squad, and it's very, very interesting. He has returned to Arsenal first team training after suffering the ACL last January. It was a year, but he's actually back. He's training with the squad. He's practicing, so we actually are expecting him to be back as well at some point. It's actually very interesting to see what's going to happen when they all are going to be back. Speaking about Odegaard, have you heard the rumor about Barcelona interested in signing him? Yes, I have. I have read that. I have read it. I have seen it. Do I believe it? No, I don't. Personally, I don't. If it's true, why not? Sell him to Barcelona. But I don't see Barcelona signing Odegaard, personally at least. I personally don't see it. Yes, I have read it. To some extent, personally, it would be great if it was true. Means that we could invest in some other players. But yeah, it looks like that. It definitely looks like that. Since we're talking about this, I can pull it up on the screen as well. People. Since Fusion is mentioning him, I can pull it up on screen as well. So, yeah, here it is. Barcelona head coach Hansi Flick is a big fan of Martin Odegaard, and the Spanish club are eyeing a potential £70 million move. However, the Gunners are not willing to let 26-year-old Norway midfielder leave the club amid interest from Barca. That's according to Football Transfers and all these places. So, can you trust them? Go figure. At the end of the day, go really figure. But Odegaard, Barcelona, that's a very random one. Very, very random one. Hansi Flick actually likes Odegaard. How he would fit into the team would be interesting to see to some extent. I'm not gonna lie, because him playing together with Pedri, Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Torres, Kubrasi, Kunde, Araujo, and all these guys. It feels very surreal. It feels very weird. 70 million, though. Can Barcelona technically can afford that, but would they be willing to pay 70 million for him? Potential 70 million move. What the hell is happening with that? Big up Anfield the Red. Big up Anfield the Red. By the way, if it was up to me, I would sell Odegaard. If this would be true, and I had the offer, I would let him go for 70 million and sign Olise or someone like that. But that's a story for a different day. But yeah, big up Anfield the Red. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. And the question for you: on Sunday, you are playing Manchester City. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Because your season has been up and down so far. But yeah, Man City are just kicking into gear, what it seems like. So what are your expectations from that game? Because I'm definitely going to be watching that. Big up, Nems. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Chelsea really lost to Carabao. They drew. It was 2-2, wasn't it? It was Carabao. It was 2-2, wasn't it, yesterday? Yeah, 2-2. Carabao 2, Chelsea 2. It was a 2-2 draw, which also seems kind of nuts if you think about it. 2-2 draw for Carabao. Yeah, drew, exactly. Big up, Rude. Big up, Rude. I have a weird feeling some of these players fake injuries not to pay transfer fee add-ons. Maybe. Like, you know that this business is very cruel and very rude, no matter how you look at it, and maybe some shenanigans are happening there, definitely. There's no effing way Barcelona will pay 70 million for him. Sorry. Dude, we have seen weirder things. Odegaard still is in a very high levels of being seen on the stage. He plays for Arsenal. Arsenal are playing good. There is definitely some value. Do the performances fully reflect that? I wouldn't say so. But if they would be paying 70 million, yeah, sell him in a heartbeat, 100%. I'd let him go as Zubimendi and Rice still, yeah, but that's the thing. You just named 2 players that are not 10s. That's the thing for me. We can play Vanieri there. We can play, obviously, Eze there. But that, again, kind of screams to me that we're going to need to sign another number 10 or something like that. And to be honest, I wouldn't be against that. I definitely would not be against that. I'm good. Quite tired, but I'm good. My opinion, a 2-2 draw versus City. If someone wins, it will be them, though. Yeah, like, Man City are kicking into gear fully kicking into gear. Like, Foden is picking up form. Haaland is still being an alien robot and everything. They're starting to find places. They're doing this without Rodri as well, which is quite interesting, and will be interesting to see once Rodri comes back how that's gonna look. But yeah, it's gonna be a nuts one. Obviously, you just beat Real Madrid in Champions League. Question is, will that game have taken out too much out of you? That's the other question, right? The main thing is, it's a Etihad and everything. It will be interesting to see how that goes. It will be very interesting because I know it's only the 11th game of the season, right? Only 11th game of the season, but there's quite a bit riding on that game, isn't it? Because you are tied on points. Oh, no, sorry. Man City are 6 points behind us. You are 7 points behind us. The team that loses is gonna fall quite back in the pecking order, provided Arsenal win on Saturday against Sunderland. Because if we win, at least up until your game, we will be 10 points clear from City, and it's 9 points clear of City and 10 points clear of you. And if you are going into international break with 10 points behind, it's gonna be rough. Would you sell Odegaard? Yes, I would. I'm rooting for Liverpool on Sunday. You're scared of Man City, aren't you? You're scared of Man City. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of scared of City as well. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, this game is a bit of a 50-50. But the thing is, at the moment, the form City are in it looks like they would be the favorite, especially at home. Come on, Sunderland. Relax, right? Relax. No, come on, Arsenal. And all this stuff. No, come on, Sunderland and all this. No, we don't do this here. We definitely don't do this here. We need Arsenal win no matter how you look at it. By the way, people, I'm gonna take a second and look at Europa League results at the moment because I'm quite curious about some things. Lille lost to Red Star, which is interesting. Yeah, Lille lost to Red Star. Celta Vigo demolished Zagreb. Panathinaikos Malmo. Midtjylland won against Celtic. Nice lost to Freiburg. Salzburg win go-ahead Eagles. Sturm Graz 0-0. Utrecht drew against Porto, which is also weird. Villa are 0-0 against Maccabi. Roma are beating Rangers. Rest of the games are in draws. In Conference League, I'm just checking results. I want to check these results. Samsung Sport sounds like a phone company or something like that, or a medicine. One against Hamron. Oh, the pigs are running. Now Coops win Britslovan. Legia lost to Celje. Aberdeen drew against Larnaca. Nothing special in the Conference League. Shakhtar won. At the moment, Lech Poznan are beating Rayo Vallecano away, which is a very tough place to go, I'm not gonna lie. Besides that, nothing special. Definitely nothing special going on. The mighty Sunderland. Relax, right? Relax. Sunderland, I don't think is gonna win. Xhaka hat-trick, I don't see it happening. First things first. I don't see that happening at... have not seen that happening at all, ever. Because first things first, he's not the goal-scoring machine, and second of all, he has never scored a hat-trick in his life, so why would he? Has anyone seen Burnley's third kit, by the way? They need to wear it. Wait, let me check this. You said third kit, right? I haven't checked all the kits, by the way, which is kind of nuts. Burnley's third kit. Is this one? Burnley's third kit, 25-26. Not bad. Definitely not bad. Definitely not bad. Yeah, that thing I actually can see. Ironically enough, I can see. That would be in a typical Arsenal fashion, because we all know that ex-Arsenal players have a tendency to score against us. Maybe in recent times, much less. But it's happening usually. Then again, looking at our defense, how good we are defensively, and how resilient we are, how we defend, it's going to be a very, very tall order for Sunderland to score against us, in my opinion. Even if they score, the question is, can they basically concede less? That's the other thing. Can they concede less than us? And in that regard, I think we're going to take the cake, no matter how you look at it. Personally, I expect Arsenal to win. I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely expect Arsenal to win, without shadow of a doubt. Because if we don't win this game, that is just unacceptable, to say the least. That definitely would be unacceptable, to say the least. Because I'm not gonna lie, this where is it? Sorry. Yeah, this is. Wait. Yeah, here we go. The Premier League table, right? The Premier League table. Arsenal are currently sitting first. 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Only 3 goals conceded, by a mile the least amount in Premier League, which already is a nuts one. Sunderland have scored only 12 goals, so on average, more or less a goal per game. 1.2 goals a game. Arsenal score, 1.8 goals a game. That's closer to 2. We don't concede pretty much at all. Sunderland have conceded 8, so almost a goal per game. So I kind of believe that we're going to score, definitely. I expect also us to keep a clean sheet. I genuinely expect against Sunderland to keep a clean sheet. Obviously, we never know what's going to happen. It can go either way. But it's going to be a tough and rough game. But Sunderland definitely is going to... They're going to park the bus. They're going to try and hit us on counters. They have the players to hit us on counters, right? But ultimately, yeah, it's going to be a rough one. I have a Real Madrid friend who told me before Liverpool versus Madrid, you won't see him, but you won't see Mbappe and Vinny coming. I responded at full time. Yeah, we didn't, as they didn't show up. Well, tell Bradley to clear his pockets. Maybe he can find Vinny there, hiding somewhere in a corner, sucking his thumb, you know. It will be funny. Jack wins the game. It won't be funny. Then on top of that, I said, oh, wait, Vinny showed up, but she was too busy crying for a penalty. Like, that's not... Exactly. That game was weird. Real Madrid almost did nothing against you lot. Real Madrid were shocking, to say the least. And if Alonso keeps these performances up, he's going to be sacked before the season ends. fans at Real Madrid have different standards for all of this. Definitely have different standards, so it's going to be very, very interesting. Only people scared of Madrid are La Liga refs. Well, not maybe. It kind of, you can say that technically speaking, but I wouldn't be so like, I wouldn't be so open about it. Crystal Palace might do something. Roma. Who scored for Roma? Sule, man. Sule for Roma is such a baller, you know. Sule for Roma is such a good player. But yeah, people, the table is looking pretty intense at the moment because if we win against Sunderland, right, we go at least at the time, right, 9 points clear of Man City, 10 points clear of Liverpool, and the further you go, the gap more increases, right? And then when Liverpool plays City, I don't even know what to expect. Liverpool have lost 4 games on the bounce, haven't they, in Premier League? And they all, like, it's actually kind of wild. Liverpool need a win in Premier League against Man City, who are on the rise. That would be the perfect scenario for you lot. Obviously, the game is at Anfield, at Etihad, and that definitely is going to play some sort of a role. Obviously, it's not one of those stadiums where, well, it's a bit different story, where it has the aura, as people like to say, right? But yeah, the worst case scenario is a draw from this game, because ideally one of those teams definitely will want to win and and at least secure the same gap to Arsenal before the international break. Because after the international break, you may have chances. If Arsenal slip up, you lot may have chances to pick some steam. Because we have kind of rough schedule, let's just put it that way, against all the teams in the first 5 games after the November international break. We beat Villa 2-0. They lost to Villa 1-0. Yeah. And it means nothing. Villa this season is a very weird team. Very weird team. Because if you look at Aston Villa, where is it? I missed them. Aston Villa are 11th. See? 4 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. -1 goal difference. And look, obviously they're drawing against Tel Aviv at the moment, right? But they lost to you lot, right? They beat Man City. They beat Spurs. They beat Burnley. They beat Fulham. They are on a winning streak. Since the draw against Aston Villa, they have won against Fulham. They have won against Spurs. They have won against Burnley. They have won against City. And they lost to you lot. So they have only lost 1 game in the last 5. Definitely, in my opinion, Aston Villa will be a task. They're definitely going to be a task. So don't take them too lightly. He might be cooking an omelette in the morning, but he's definitely not cooking on the pitch. Big up, Gary. Big up, Gary. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Hope you are doing well today, my guy. Go subscribe to Gary as well, people. Go subscribe to Gary. But yeah, the question still remains, can Arsenal keep this momentum going? We need to, obviously. But no matter how you look at it, all things must come to an end, right? The question is, when is that going to happen? Unfortunately. And if it happens sooner rather than later, that gives advantage to our opponents. If it happens later than sooner, it gives advantage to us. Hence why I'm looking very cautiously at these certain games. Hence why I'm not one of those giddy fans who are talking about Arsenal winning quadruples and all this time. So it's going to be definitely very, very, very interesting. Vert scores the winner this Sunday. Well, maybe on FIFA, it is these crunch games away from home where we have come undone in the last few years. If we actually win, I might start taking it as seriously. Yeah, that's the thing. These certain crunch games with teams that are in form definitely have been very rough. Obviously, this year so far, we have done very well against the teams we actually were struggling last seasons before, like West Ham, like Crystal Palace, and all these teams. I would love Newcastle. I would love to see this happen also against other teams, right? I would love us to pick up more points, because I still maintain the same policy. If Arsenal win all the games they won last year in the same amount, and they turn about 8-9 draws from last year into wins, I think we win the league. But can they do that? How are we going to cope with certain situations during the season? For me personally, I'm going to start to judge all this when season is gonna be more or less midway through, which basically means we're gonna play this game against Sunderland, and then we're gonna have those 5 games we have. Obviously, just 4 in Premier League is gonna be 15 games after the November international break. As I said, we have obviously Spurs at home, then we have Bayern in Champions League, then we have Chelsea away, Brentford at home, and Aston Villa away. After those 5 games, I will make my assessments, what my expectations of the season are, because if we go through those 5 games still unscathed with 15 out of 15 points, oh bloody hell will it look good. Oh bloody hell will it look good. But if we start slipping up, we drop points here or there, that gap can minimize very quickly. At the moment, as I said, 6 points from City, 7 from Liverpool. Liverpool were 5 points clear before this international break kicked off, after October international break, and we have seen that they are now third, 7 points behind us. It's a 12-point swing. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be very interesting to follow that. Big up Eros, Mikel music in the building, and like and subscribe, people. Like and subscribe. 9 likes. Can we get it to 15? Can we get it to 15? Big up Mana. Big up Ryan. Big up Ryan. I think we would be fine in the Prem. I think we are conceding a lot versus Bayern. You think Bayern is going to beat us 3-1? You think so? I can't. That's the thing. Against Bayern Munich, I think Arteta might take his losses, cut his losses basically, and rotate, because he has Spurs, Bayern, Chelsea. He needs to rotate at some point. He cannot play all these players, especially since some of them also are going to international break. And here is Gary's link, people, by the way. Go subscribe to him. It will be tough against Sunderland, but I don't see we are losing points. Exactly. That's the thing. I also expect a very tough, a very physical game. Sunderland are going to sit back and try get some counters, right? They're very good at that, to be honest. We're going to control the possession. We're going to control the tempo of the game pretty much. And the question is, if we score very quickly, the game is going to become even less watchable to some extent, because we're going to play it safe. But yeah, I don't expect us losing points on Saturday. I expect us to get all 3 points and leave for Liverpool and City on Sunday to battle it out and see what happens after that. At the end of the day, that's what I'm expecting. Eros is saying 2-0 Arsenal. Interesting. I'm going 3-0 Arsenal. Predict the November games, Robo. During international break, we can do that. During international break, we can have streams on that. We definitely can have. We're definitely gonna talk about it. I am ready. Already, I'm writing down stream ideas since it's 10 days of boredom. Let's be real. But wait. But I have already 4 ideas written down, 4 video ideas written down for the international break. So if we have 10 days, 4 ideas, I need about 4 or 5 more. Let's just put it that way. Arsenal know what they're doing. Jesus is going to play against Sunderland. You really think Jesus is going to play against Sunderland? Jesus was in the training today, to be honest. There are videos of Jesus training with the team, doing the drills and all this stuff, which is very, very interesting. But this is his first training, isn't it? Isn't this his first training with the squad? Like full training with the squad. So it might take some time. Let's just put it that way. Definitely might take some time, to say the least. 3-0 Arsenal. Red Skull is going 3-0 Arsenal. Interesting. I'm also going 3-0. Hell, 7-0 Arsenal, all set pieces. What, we're going to just yank 7 corners in and that's it? We're going to do 7 corner strategy? 2 days now. I see. 2 days. But that also is not enough. He's been out for almost a year with an ACL. I think it's going to be too soon. I think Arteta he's not going to play tomorrow. He's going to train with the team during international break. And he's going to be on the bench for Spurs game. At least I expect that. Do you think the set pieces we have are sustainable? No, I don't. At some point, we either going to go on a drought ourselves, not because they're gonna figure it out, but we just couldn't get it to score, or they're gonna figure it out to some extent, and we're gonna be halted. Long term, it's not sustainable, but it's a great thing to have. It's a great weapon to use during games because it's also a part of the game. Arsenal 3, Sunderland 1, 2 set pieces, 1 open play, 1 own goal. Own goals, dude. Oh, damn. I don't want to see that. He said, oh, I see. I never thought I would say it, but I'd be okay with Merino up front on Saturday. To be honest, we have no other options. Gyökeres is injured, so he's not going to play. And our options at striker are, well, Merino and Anush. Unless this prediction from, where is it? From Red Skull comes true, and Jesus starts on Saturday for some weird goddamn reason. We don't have a striker. We have only Merino at the moment. That's the thing. Joga Bonito is back. Yeah, Joga Finito. Gonna be all over the floor per usual. Well, we'll see. Big up my boss. Big up my boss. Big up my boss. Big up. Hope you're doing well. What do I make of Darko Lemajic? Ooh. It's an interesting that he wasn't called up for the Serbian games, I'm not gonna lie, that they have against England and everything, because he was actually subbed on as a person who is gonna save Serbia in the previous international break against Albania, I think it was, or something like that. It's a weird one that he didn't get taken. Obviously, he's dominating our league. He dominated our league, right? He's dominating our league because our top goal scorers in this league, it's actually nuts, because our top goal scorer in this league is Darko Lemajic. 30 games, 28 goals. 28 goals, in 30 games. Next one is Jibril Gay, in 20 goals in 34 games. And then there are a few Latvians, obviously, my guys. There are 3 our guys, 18 goals, and 16 goals. Darko Lemajic is by a mile the best goal scorer in our league by 8 goals. He's actually very decent. Very, very decent. There have been offers for him for quite a while, to be honest. But somehow RFS have managed to hold on to him. Obviously, he's 32 years old, so he's not the youngest spring chicken, right? So maybe that's why teams are holding back on signing him. Let's just put it that way. Big up Hyper Protagonist. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. What would be our after the November international break? Well, depends who comes back from injuries. That for me is the biggest thing. Who comes back from injuries? Does that mean we're going to hunt for another striker in January? I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so, because Arteta sees Havertz as a striker, so he has technically 2. He still has Jesus, but if Jesus leaves, I still don't believe we're going to go for a striker. That's the other thing. If Jesus stays in January, we are not going to do anything in the market. I think we should be doing some stuff in the market, but I don't know what major issues must happen at the club that actually Arsenal and Berta go do some business. Going out, I can see players coming in. That for me is the question. But with Berta being here, I would love for us to change this transfer policy where in January we almost do next to nothing. Let's just put it that way. 11 likes, people. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, listen to Eros. Like and subscribe, people. But yeah, let's do this. Where is it? Give me a sec. 423. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. I would go for project number 9 if we get one in January. So which one? Which project number 9s you would want to get? Just spitballing here. Ideas. You're the ones you would want. Let's just put it that way. We should not rely on Jesus. He will play 3 games and get injured again. Yeah, that's the biggest worry still. Jesus is very unproven with all his ACLs, all the surgeries. Best case scenario, we can sell him. That's the ideal scenario. Next best thing is we loan him out. Either we pay, let's just say, wages 80-20, 70-30, 60-40, whatever. We loan him out with hopes that he doesn't get injured. He has good that half a season at another team. And then in the summer, we can sell him. Or, well, he stays, and then we pray he doesn't get injured at all, because Jesus' knees are mashed up to... It's like mashed potato, pretty much. And him tracking back and running again like a madman, it's not going to end well at any stage. It will be like last year. He will come back for a few games. He's going to score a hat trick and 2 goals, 5 goals in 2 games against Crystal Palace, and then disappear for a year again. Like, it's one of those things, like it's an uncle that shows up for Christmas and then disappears for the next year. He basically did that. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, with Jesus, it is like that. Anyways, people. Anyhow. What are we saying? What are we saying? What are we saying? Predicted starting 11 for the game against, well, there's no other way to put it, Sunderland. What are your expectations? Who is going to start? Who is going to play and where? Obviously, first things first. Ryan goes in goal. That kind of goes without saying, doesn't it? Wait. Rata. Now, the thing is, the defense kind of picks itself, mostly because this is the last game before international break. Arteta, in my opinion, is going to go strong, and he's going to want to win it, right? So the back line kind of picks itself. Zubimendi goes into midfield because, well, he didn't play against Slavia, so we'll see. Eze because he didn't play. I genuinely assume it's going to be something like this. Is it safe to say that this will be the 11 tomorrow? Back 4 picks itself at the moment. Yeah. Rice, Zubi, Eze, yeah. Trossard, Merino, Saka. It's kind of predictable, isn't it, at the moment? Obviously, to some extent. But question, just random question. Do you see Arteta changing something for these games? Do you see Arteta changing something for this game against Sunderland? And what I mean by that, basically, is maybe start Anush up top, right? Maybe playing Mosquera instead of Saliba. Maybe Hincapié instead of Gabriel or Calafiori, something like that. Do you see Arteta doing some shenanigans in this game? Or do you think he's going to all out best 11 just to secure the 3 points? Then he's going to make some subs just so he can apply, technically speaking, more pressure on the Liverpool-Man City game at the Etihad and go into international break at least 6 points clear of the table. But worst case scenario. Ironically enough, that sounds mad to say, but it is what it is. He had Baird on this, not this. Yeah, exactly. It is a very crucial game, especially looking at the form Sunderland is in. Yes, they didn't look great against Everton. I realize that. But Sunderland can definitely play some good ball, especially at home with the crowd behind them. It's gonna be a bit of a rough one. No, that's most likely the lineup. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't expect Arteta to make any subs, like any changes for the starting 11 at least. I'm just now looking at this 11 and thinking about this, how that could go. So Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, Calafiori, right? England international team hasn't been announced, right? Also, it has not been announced which players Tuchel is taking to the games, the 2 irrelevant games against Serbia and oh no, it is. What is the team Tuchel is taking? What is the team Tuchel is taking? Is the team announced for England for these 2 games? Or is it just still a speculation? Or against Serbia and Albania? Has Tuchel announced them? Because I'm very curious to see which Arsenal players are going to make it. Because I put out a TikTok, YouTube short as well today talking about that Saka, for example, should not go to international break because he needs some rest. He needs to relax. He needs to chill. He needs to be off heavy schedule. AJ in the comments said as well that even Eze and Rice should not go, because let's be real, they are pretty much a guaranteed spot for World Cup provided they stay injury free. And these two games are, well, kind of irrelevant against Serbia and Albania, because England has already qualified for the World Cup and they have qualified as the only team from Europe at the moment. So I'm very curious to see who Tuchel brings up. That for me is the big thing. That's why I'm asking, because there already are tweets popping up that that it looks like Tuchel is recalling Jude Bellingham, for example. There are talks that the English the Twitter account is already asking this stuff. So I'm kind of curious about this now. I'm very, very curious. And question for you all, everyone in the chat. Do you think Saka should be up there? Do you think Saka should be called up to international break, and Eze, Declan Rice? Do you think that should be the case? Or do you think they should maybe stay for now at home, relax, have a rest, not get too overexhausted and everything? That's another question I have for you all. Anthony has scored for Real Betis. Interesting. I'm just checking also the Europa League and Conference League results as I wait your answers in the chat to the question posed. Crystal Palace are 1-0 up against Alkmaar. Lacroix has scored. Mateta missed a penalty. Lech Poznan 2-0 up. Lausanne are 1-1 against Ammonia. Is Butler Oyedeji playing, or is he on the bench? Oh, Butler Oyedeji is playing just as a midfielder. Interesting. That looks hella weird, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. Eta Young, Conrad Harder, Santiago Castro, Joaquin Pachileli, Cunha Grupi. Some names I thought of the project number 9. Oh, I see. A Young. Oh, yeah, a Young. Yes. Santiago Castro would be interesting. Interesting. I know a few of those names. I don't know all of them. Oh, Carter from Lisbon Sporting as well. Another player from Lisbon Sporting, you know. Another guy from those depths. Let's just put it that way. There are some options, definitely. There are some options, but that's the thing. We have our own project striker in our club, in Anush. So what's the point, technically, in signing one if we have our own? Then again, we had the same story about Mika Biereth. We had the same story about Forlim Balogun. Chido B. Martin just left himself. So we have seen how that has gone. For me, that is another thing. Like, pretty much damn straightforward if you're looking for that point of view. But yeah, we'll see how that's gonna go. Definitely. I'm sitting very impatiently waiting. I kind of expect that to be announced. Now, where were we? Where were we, people? Okay. Now, speaking of Arsenal in general, right? Just we have a few minutes, about 20 of those. We can talk about Arsenal in general. Like, do you think that Arsenal, let's just say, well, I don't even know how to pose the question. Let's go from a different angle. What do you expect from Liverpool versus Man City? What do you expect from that game? Because to some extent, both teams need a win. No matter what happens in Arsenal Sunderland game, both teams need a win. Because no matter how you look at it, we're going to be ahead going into an international break. The question is just by how much. Either it's going to be 6 points on City, or 7 points on Liverpool, or it's going to be less, or it's going to be more, ultimately, depending on the results. What are you expecting? Right. Game is at Etihad, by the way. Game is at the Etihad, just saying. Liverpool win, hopefully a draw. Yeah, a draw would be the ideal scenario for Arsenal and a lose-lose situation for both of those teams, if we are looking from that point of view. Why do you want Liverpool to win? That's the next question. Only because they are struggling, they are unpredictable at the moment how they're going to do this season, or there are other reasons. Because City, it looks like they are picking up some steam. And as we talked about half an hour ago, Foden is kicking into gear. Haaland is doing his alien robot business. Rodri has just come back from injury. And they were all doing this without Rodri. Reinders is playing some great football as well. So, yeah, I'm kind of torn. For me, ideally, it would be a draw. But is there a possibility that the game ends in a draw? Because I don't see it ending in a draw. I don't see that ending in a draw. As much as I would love it, I just cannot fathom them getting a draw. I think one of the teams are gonna nick the goal and they're gonna take it to the end. I think Liverpool will win. Interesting. Like, if Liverpool win, provided Arsenal win, obviously, it's 7 points from the second place, arguably, right? So that technically is quite a bit of a gap, and that is a very nice gap to have, knowing our schedule after November international break, right? But if City win, obviously we are now talking provided if Arsenal actually win, right? We need that Arsenal win. And I also think we're gonna win. That's the big thing. For me, the question is how? Because I don't expect an exciting game, first things first. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm expecting a very rough and tough game because Sunderland are going to make it that way. They're a very strong team at home. Wait, let's check Sunderland's results. Let's check Sunderland's results because I think that could say a lot in terms of everything. Let's just put it that way. Where is it? August 9th, August 16th, right? Big up, Ainer. Big up. We have to win. Yes, I'm more scared of City than Liverpool. Same. If we are taking it from that point of view, yes, I'm more worried about City than Liverpool, at least right now. Looking at the Liverpool, how they're playing and how everything's developing. As I said before, I'm rooting for Liverpool against City, but I think it will be a draw, no goals. Really? You think it's going to be a 0-0? That's a very, very bold statement. Very. But big up to you. Now, Sunderland schedule. Let's look at how they have fared this season so far. They beat West Ham 3-0 at home on the opening day. Well, West Ham are shit, so it is what it is. They lost to Burnley away. They are out of the Carabao Cup. They won at home. They drew away. They drew at home. They won away, right? They lost away. They won at home. They won away against Chelsea, which is a very interesting one. They drew at home. So they have kind of a mixed bag of results, right? Liverpool also have to play them on December 3rd at Anfield in a month. But they are more a home team than anything, aren't they? To some extent. Like, Sunderland is one of those coin flips, as Ross is saying. Yeah, flip a coin and make a guess at the end of the day. That's how Sunderland feels like. And looking at Sunderland's previous results, yeah, they can definitely take game to anyone. The thing is, though, they have not faced us. Compared to every single team pretty much in Premier League, nobody plays defense like we do. Nobody has such smothering and Fort Knox type defense as we do. And they have not faced that. And the quality, obviously, we are head above them. In terms of abilities, skills, and all this stuff, let's just put it that way. It's gonna be a rough one. It definitely is gonna be a rough one. Definitely. But I expect us to win. I'm saying 3-0 Arsenal still. I think we're gonna score from open play. Then we're gonna get a free kick or a corner. And I think the third one could be a penalty or another open play. That flip a coin. Oh. I see. What do you mean, no? Big up, Ainer. What do you mean, no? Not 3-0. Interesting. I'm saying it could be 3-0. By the way, why I cannot see if we played Barca, would we win? You know, that is the big question. We will see. I think the first test in all these cases, in terms of will we win, how we're going to fare against these massive attacks, it's going to be Bayern Munich, no matter how you look at it. Yes, Luis Diaz is not going to play because he will, like an idiot, got a red card. But still, they have Olise, Kane, Carl, Gnabry, all these guys. It's going to be a rough one. it's going to be a rough one. And if everyone comes injury-free from the international break, as they have done so far from September and October, the game against Bayern Munich could be a very good indication how our defense fares against these massive attacks, at least for now. Because Bayern Munich, so far this season, have played 16 games, and they have won all 16 games. They haven't suffered even a draw so far in any competition. No, it's at Emirates. It is at the Emirates, which gives us a bigger chance. Let's just put it that way. A moment was that satisfaction. Yeah, it's going to be a hard game, especially with Granit Xhaka factor. What do you mean Granit Xhaka factor? You think we're going to take it easy on them because they have Granit Xhaka or what? Yeah, okay, good, exactly. The thing is, though, we have to play against Inter Milan in Champions League as well. And that is at San Siro. Remember last year at San Siro, it wasn't pretty, was it? 56 crosses and they led to absolutely nothing. Sorry, I have to refresh my camera. It's going to be a rough one. Would you take to game to Bayern or be more defensive? Well, based on how we play, especially against the big teams we have faced so far in Liverpool and City, I think they're going to take more cautious approach, definitely. It's going to be more cautious approach. We're going to beat Bayern, Müller gone. The jinx has left the building. And I wouldn't be so sure about that one. I know PSG are not it this season, but the way they pressed the living life out of PSG yesterday, on Tuesday, oh my God. Why are you laughing again? What is this? Depending who we have available to play. If we talk about Bayern, exactly, because if we have all the players available in terms of everyone's back from international unscathed, I'm all fine. I think it's going to be very interesting then. And I'm not obviously including, especially against Bayern, also the ones that are coming back from injuries, because unless it's Odegaard, they're not going to start, or Arteta drops Gyökeres for Havertz, obviously. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. There are talks that after international break, Gyökeres, Havertz, Madueke, and Odegaard all are going to be back. They're expecting them to be back for Spurs or Bayern games, which is a very interesting one. If we have most of the players back, we should go after them. I get it. I absolutely get it. But after 22-23 season, how often do you see Arsenal actually take the game to other big clubs? If you exclude, let's just say, first 10-15 minute bursts, right? Like it was against PSG and all these teams. When do we ever just genuinely just go all guns blazing against the big teams, especially the ones that can hurt us in the attack? Obviously, Bayern Munich's defense is shaky. There's no argument about that. But they compensate that with massive attack. And Arsenal obviously are vice versa. We have very fantastic defense, and that is, well, basically we have somewhat impotent attack. Let's just put it that way. And we compensate that with massive, incredible defense. Exactly. We don't do it that often. And that is with the players and without the players. So I think Arteta is going to take a somewhat cautious approach, even though the game is at Emirates. Despite that, I think he's going to take a bit of a cautious approach overall. But obviously, that game is only in, 3 weeks? It's a very long time. We don't know what's going to happen during internationals, because Calafiori has so far been injury-free, which is fantastic, but at the same time, he's one of those that are under scrutiny. Saka as well, under scrutiny in terms of injuries. Declan Rice is another big worry, because if he goes down, oh my goodness gracious, are we in deep shit? Excuse my French. So it's going to be very, very interesting if we're looking from that point of view. But obviously, the main thing is at the moment, we are taking this one game at a time. One game at a time. Because, let's be real, we need to get past Sunderland. We need to survive international break without injuries, and then we can see what is what. Without injuries, yeah. Control better than all guns blazing, yeah. I get it, but Eros, you were not complaining in 22-23 season when we were all guns blazing. Arteta's default tactic versus big sides, it's all about defense and try to score from a corner. And ironically enough, we are actually quite good at that from the set pieces. So there is some extra hope, right? But I just wish Arteta would be more braver against these big teams. We saw that Liverpool were there for the taking. We didn't do it. City were there for the taking, and we didn't do it. I just wish they did that. What did control do? Well, exactly that is the biggest thing. The control gave us nothing to some extent, because if last year and year before we got draws there, we lost against Liverpool. If against Man City we tend to win at home, we drew today. Well, this season, right? It definitely is the thing, but it all comes down to the manager. And we all know that Mikel Arteta is not that type of a manager who's going to take unnecessary risks. And he's not going to be the one that's going to change it up just for 1-2 games mid-season, unless it's utterly demanded. And the nut part about the game against Bayern Munich in this case is the fact that we have won all our games. If we win against Kairat and all these teams we still have to play, against Club Brugge, although they played brilliantly against Barcelona. That goal should have counted, by the way, the fourth goal that Brugge scored, right? If we win those games and we get even a draw against Inter, we can take a hit. So Arteta actually can go for it. But that is basically like Schrodinger's cat at the end of the day. You put a cat in it, and you put, let's just say, poison in it, right? Or something, or gas, you close the box. But until you open the box, you don't know whether the cat is alive or not still, right? And that is something about Mikel Arteta in terms of attacking, defensive, attacking or controlling football. Exactly. I'd rather lose going for it than not going. And that was my point against Liverpool and against Man City, and especially against Liverpool, because I much rather lose game 4-3, right? But I know that we had actually a go for it. We went for it. We basically sweat blood to some extent. We did everything that we could, but we came a bit short. Rather than we sit back, we almost do nothing, and then one moment of brilliance decides the game, and we get the short end of it. It's the same as, not same, but it's just similar to our Real Madrid games last year. Because it took 2 moments of brilliance from from Declan Rice to win us the games. Because if Declan Rice doesn't go for it, despite manager, Jover, and all these men telling him to cross it, the outcome could have been much different at the end of the day. Because that 1-2-0 we got from the free kicks forced Real Madrid to attack, which left the gaps open and allowed us to hit them on counters. And in the end, we won 3-0. Right? So it's, yeah, maybe I'm a risk taker. Maybe. But who doesn't drink champagne, does it? Big high risk, high reward type of situation. I'd rather go all guns blazing. I'm saying it in Arteta's voice. Control. It's small margins, guys. Small margins, guys. So don't forget that one. Why are you laughing? What is happening here? Why are you laughing again? Cat is both alive and dead at the same time. Exactly. But until you open the box, you don't know. And that's the thing about Arteta attacking football and controlling football. Until you open that box, you don't know. Until you go attacking, you will not know. And we'll see. But I think Arteta has the PTSD from the previous seasons when he has been burnt at the end of the day, when we were 2-0 up against Liverpool and we screwed it up and all this stuff. So go figure. Big up Gunner for life. Big up Gunner for life. I'm doing well. Hope Thursday has treated you also very well. Big up to you, my guy. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, my bro. But yeah, that's the go figure. But no matter how you look at it, I fully expect us to finish in top 8 in Champions League. so we don't have that extra round. Will it be harder to get it this season? I think it will, unless we keep our own momentum going. We'd still not concede a single goal in Champions League and everything. Unless we keep that going, it's going to be rougher, because let's not forget last year, teams like City, teams like Real Madrid, and all these teams, we're in the 15th, 18th places and all this stuff. Now they are up with us. So that's the extra competition, hence why I actually want to win the more games just to secure that spot. 16, 17 points, people say, should be enough, and it should, especially if it's based afterwards on goal difference, which it should be. And Arsenal's goal difference at the moment is actually kind of nuts, because we have not conceded anything. So there is hope. There is hope from that point of view, without shadow of a doubt. Oh. Like, Luis Diaz is not going to play. Yeah, exactly. Luis Diaz is not going to play, so go after them. Could be the case, but at the same time, you cannot underestimate Bayern Munich. Let's be real. Even though Diaz is not playing, at the same time, they still have Gnabry, they still have Olise, Harry Kane. Harry Kane loves a goal against Arsenal. They still have Carl. And all these guys, yes, defensively they are shaky, so we should be applying some pressure to that, without shadow of a doubt. But will we? Will we do that? Will we force maybe some defense into troubles like we did last year with City, where we forced their defense in endless problems, which ended with us winning 5-1? Who knows? I'm laughing because I was being a smartass with that control all guns blazing comment. Hey. Greatness recognizes greatness, right? At least in your own mind. 15 likes, big up to you all. 15 likes, big up. We have reached our goal. Much appreciate that, guys. Much appreciate that, guys. Now, there's no chance in hell, right? For all the GTA fans, GTA 6 release date has been postponed, and it's gonna be out on Thursday, November 19th, 2026. So it's gonna come out at the same time as what, Call of Duty or something like that? At the same time. Yeah, no, Black Ops. It's gonna go mostly, yeah, it's gonna be at the same time as Black Ops, I think. Where is it? Hold on, I'm reading some stuff at the moment. I was trying to figure out some stuff. It's still not out. No, for fuck's sake. Wait, where is it there? Arsenal are the only team not to concede in Champions League, which seems kind of ludicrous even to think about, but the case. But yeah, there's nothing too much to talk about in those terms. Obviously, we did the predicted 11. We talked about the game. We talked about other bits and bobs here or there. We did predictions as well, people. If you haven't put your prediction in the chat regarding the Sunderland game, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Let me know, please, in the chat what you think, how the game is going to go. Because I'm going for 3-0. I saw some 2-0s, 1-0s. Someone said 1-0 Sunderland as well. People are praying for our downfall. Let's not forget that. So it will be very, very interesting. I'm not going to lie, very interesting. But I expect us to win without shadow of a doubt. I expect us to be very controlled, even though it's going to be a tough game. The starting 11 kind of picks itself. Since Gyökeres is injured, most likely it's going to be Merino up top. Ooh, 2-1. You think Arsenal are going to concede, actually, for once? Like, it's actually nuts. I said this yesterday on the stream. I also made a TikTok about it, and YouTube short as well. If you haven't, go check it out. That it has come to a point where I'm watching Arsenal games, and I'm kind of worried we're going to concede. And not because we might lose the game, but because we're going to lose the clean sheets. When Ben White did that Kung Fu Panda type tackle, right, when he got the ball, obviously, but it was under VAR, I was kind of worried that it's going to be a penalty against Slavia and, like, it's going to go south. It has come to this point. To some extent, I don't know how I got here, but I'm happy that I am. So, like, I know I shouldn't be worrying about this kind of stuff because we're going to concede. That's inevitable. At the same time, there's also time and place when to concede. Like, if we concede a game we are totally controlling on our own stupidity is the reason why, well, come on, man, what are we doing here? But if it's like a well-played goal or something like that, okay, a banging long shot, I'm all for it. I'm actually disappointed when we do not get set-piece goal. That is another thing. I have this running joke, right, in another streamer's chat where we had 7 corners in the first half against Slavia Prague, right? And we didn't score from any of them. And I said 7 corners, no goals. What is this? What is this BS? End the game now. Might as well quit. Might as well concede and all this stuff. And like, it's kind of nuts. Like, with Arsenal, the way they have been playing right now in recent times, it's actually surprising that we don't score from we don't score a set piece during games. And it's going to be surprised when we concede to some extent, even Pep Guardiola comes out in the interview and says, well, I just wish Arsenal would concede at least 1 goal because the way we are playing, we have had, 2-3 shots on target in the last 5-6 games conceded. Like, that's actually kind of insane if you think about it. Yeah, and that is, for me, one of the biggest things. I just hope that when we do concede, we don't lose the mentality. Exactly. Because we're going to concede. That's inevitable. I expect us also to lose a game at some point. For me, the question is, how are we going to bounce back? Will we go in a downward spiral down the rabbit hole where we're going to maybe drop some points in back-to-back games? Or will we bounce back, especially if we concede early in a certain game? Will we bounce back? Or if we lose a game, will we bounce back the next game? I'm very curious to see how those situations are going to do. Defense wins championships. Yeah, at the end of the day, that's true. Goals win you games, to be honest. And so far, set pieces have been very useful in that. Since we don't score too much from open play, set pieces have been the key. That is the case at the end of the day. So as long as we can keep this going, I'm all fine. I just wish we scored open play goals more often, right? Because if the set pieces run out, right? And we haven't figured out the open play situation, it's going to be struggle town. Big up, Marlon. Big up, Marlon. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, people, on that note, I'm going to end today's stream. It's been a great one. It's been another great stream. Big up to you all. Big up to everyone who liked, who subscribed if you have. Hopefully going to see you all tomorrow. We're going to talk about some bits and bobs as well. But yeah, have a nice evening. Have a nice day tomorrow. Hopefully going to see you all tomorrow as well. And don't forget to check out my YouTube shorts. Don't forget to check out my TikTok as well. And hopefully going to see you very, very, very soon. Peace.